Hi everyone, I'm Sienna Noel from SaraSolo TV, and here is your daily update for our 12 Days of Giveness series to promote our Giving Tuesday on December 3rd. We have a lot of exciting things to share with you to make your spirits right. Let's see what we got going on today. To promote our Giving Tuesday.
SaraSolo's Solar Synergy education program has 3 unique, brave, uplifting programs that help middle schoolers bridge generations through personal story. Helping high school students gain confidence and critical life skills by expressing their unique stories. And the Solo Intensive to help professionals and adults take the next step in creating their own solo theater. Become a gifter December 3rd, Giving Tuesday, on the 12th day of Giftness, and help make their presentation come to light.
Okay, there we go.
Hi. We're live.
We're live, and I'm forgetting everything today. I think I'm Ann Morrison, and you must be.
I'm Blake Walton.
Thank God. Even though we don't know anymore. Hey, thank you all for showing up. We've been having a very intense 12 days trying to get this thing going, and we're doing these fun little videos and chatting with people. We called it the 12 Days of Giftness. Thank you, Sienna Barstock, who is she wants to be Noel, though, isn't she?
Sienna Noel.
Sienna Noel. She's on our board. She's also a senior at Booker High School and was participating last year in our program. So we're excited to, and she's going to be a part of the solos in class, or I should say in studio, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But yeah, this has been an intense, really wonderful full day and 12 days leading up to this time.
So what have we been doing for 12 days?
Well, I've been pulling out my hair. See, yes. I've got some patch of hair missing.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, because we presented a little something interesting every day. We think it's interesting, of course.
We may have been the only ones watching it, but
yes, that's right. By the way,
we have
hey, Carol.
Oh, hi, Carol.
I had to check to see who's here.
Carol. We have had
so we started with some a daily video.
Mm-hmm. Actually, three daily videos.
Mm-hmm. One was sort of testimonies and
anything that's in the news about
daily
us.
News and a word from former participants and any of our solo workshops. And then we had something called a snippet of solo, is 1 minute of different solo works for 12 days, 12 different ones, 12 days. You'll be able to see all of those at some point during this hour. It'll be fun. And then we had each day leading up to today in the 12 days of Giftness song. We had Booker students.
Well, let's look at the students. Let's see if I can find those students for us. Let's see. Here we go. This is what our no, that's not what I want. Maybe it is. Let's see. Yeah, these are our Booker students this year, and they're just a wonderful group of kids. Tell me, Blake, your feelings about everybody on this whole class this year.
I think that I'll be really blunt. I think that we've been doing this for 7 years, and these students are, first of all, have the benefit of what we've learned in 7 years with the same class at Booker High School, the juniors in the VPA program in the acting department. And so as we believe, our workshop develops, also evolves. And we've learned things from students every year, starting with our first year. So these students in the 7th year are getting the benefit of anything that we've learned. Plus, they came into high school, which is true for the last few grades. They came in knowing as freshmen that they were going to have us as juniors. And so there's been this anticipation, we think. We've worked with a couple. There are 3 members of this class that also did our middle school version of our intergenerational program.
Called The Bridge.
The Bridge. One of them, Carol Wolf, is watching right now. She's not only our board president, she's been with SaraSolo for almost as long as we've been alive. And Carol has participated every year after the first. Is that right, Carol?
Yes.
Yeah. Every
I'm
year
answering for her.
after the first. Is that right, Carol?
Yes. I'll be Carol.
Every year. What was it? Oh, Carol has participated. So Carol's.
You're so punchy.
in the middle school class, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about it right now. In the middle school class, we have been having 12-year-olds, basically 12-year-olds, either 6th, 7th, or 8th graders, mixing and
pairing up
with adults.
Well, we would lovingly call the elders.
The elders, who are 60+ adults. And Carol happened to had several students along the way.
Yeah, they got a chance to interview each other.
Yeah.
And hear each other's stories. And then the 12-year-olds had to write a monologue as the elder somewhere in their life and perform it. So they had to write the monologue and perform it. The elders could do the same. I mean, some of them have just wanted to write poetry, or one year we had someone who was actually a jazz musician, so he wrote a composition instead. Yeah. But mostly the elders want to do the same thing as the students and become them, which has been delightful and fun.
So we've had that year that these particular students, it was about 4 years ago. They were in middle school, and Maddie, who is one of our prominent students in class, was paired up with her. We also had Amari and Sophia, but that's the delight lately, because last year was the first year we had.
And Sandra, Sandra's in it too.
Oh, not Sophia. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sandra.
Getting our years mixed up.
So we
we asked the high school kids this year if they would help us with our 12 days of giftness with a song. So I'm going to try and find it for us. And I think this is going to be the whole 12 days instead of going through the entire song bit by bit by bit. And here we go. Introduced by...
It's Sienna Noel from SaraSolo TV. We've made a little ditty for you this holiday season called the 12 Days of Giftness, and every day we have a Booker student adding on their addition. The 12 Days of Giftness.
On the 12th day of giftness, our donors gave to us more development programming,
ongoing workshops, venues for teaching,
scholarships for students,
video editing,
edit the audio,
venue insurance,
social media, merchandise inventing,
playbill producing,
posters creating,
and filming a whole event to stream.
And filming the whole event to stream.
Thank you.
I think it's really possible that song is going to go viral.
We added our board at the end there just for fun. Yes.
And that was Carol up there, and Carol does acknowledge. She said yes, that something to yes, whatever that was.
Oh dear. And we don't drink.
Matt, Carol has been with the intergenerational program since his first year, so for 6 years.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the donors that we have so far.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Great. We used a new program this year called Give Butter, and I'm hoping that it was wieldy. It was really easy. Is that a word? It was easy to
make it up. Hey, I'm dyslexic. I think it's a word.
It's easy to go on there and donate. But because of that, it's just remarkable. So we take each of these names as being look at three. It's really exceptional. I said before in one of my videos representing our company that that this is a hard year in Florida because of the arts funding that's been cut. So we are depending more and more on individual donors, and people are stepping up to the plate. It's been very marvelous today. I will give you a number in a little while. It's up there. It's further than I expected, so that's really cool. But
What do you got?
I have Laura Workman, who is one of our now wonderful friends, who came down to Sarasota a couple times to work on solo in the solo workshop. Doug Hall, who performed in one of our festivals. Andrew Barnacle, who's a great family friend. Deb Lombard are one of our oldest and dearest friends in Sarasota. Thank you, Deb. Because we also acknowledge that everybody has a lot of other companies that they really want to support, and so we appreciate it when that happens. That's also true with Suzanne Hudson Smith, one of our other great true friends. Sandra Moulin, who we've worked with several times,
Helping her develop her own pieces.
Helping her develop her own piece. Thank you, Sandra. Karen Bronson, who is maybe one of our most consistent donors.
Well, I've known her since we were kids in Chicago. Yeah.
And
in fact, I took voice lessons with her mother.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
My gorgeous voice is because of her.
And the thing about Karen is that she hasn't even, except for our virtual programming, she hasn't been here live to see anything that's ever.
And we had to go virtual, all during COVID. So, which created some very innovative and fun ideas.
Our great friend Anuj Naidu, who we've worked with in the solo and other times, and he's just a really great friend. Thank you, Anuj. I know.
I want you to finish your piece because it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
It's kind of amazing. Dale Brubaker.
Yeah, Dale was contacted me because he's a fan of Merrily Roll Along, and he's become a new friend. And so I mentioned this, and so was a sweetheart. Thank you so much for donating to our company. It means a lot to me.
Great. Christopher Moquist. You want to talk about Chris?
Yeah, Chris approached me because he saw the documentary on Merrily called what is it called?
You're center stage.
Of
the documentary. Best worst thing that ever could happen.
Oh my God, our brains.
Yeah. It's like we'd like to forget.
And he saw that I had a company that worked with persons with developmental disabilities, and he wanted to start a company in Minneapolis.
Isn't that
so
amazing?
We've been connecting, and I've been helping him develop this amazing company called Unlabeled. If you're in Minneapolis, don't miss any of their performances. He's just a love. He's a beautiful human being. When I got a chance to do my solo piece up in Minnesota, he helped create the T-shirts we can sell as merch. He just has a beautiful family, and I think we're going to be friends forever.
And did you meet him when you went up there too, because of Peter bringing you up?
Yes, I did meet him at that time. Yes,
that's
exactly. Well, we had met before, but we finally got a chance to meet physically.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I love connections like that. Peter is at the Oslo.
Rostein, he's at the Oslo.
Our great Carol Wolf. Thank you. And Patrick Dorowalski, who's my dear, one of my dearest friends in New York. Thank you, Patrick. You're always supportive. And again, Patrick, well, he's come down to see at least one festival live. So that was really cool. But he lives in Jersey, and so can't be here. Chris Caswell, one of our oldest and dearest friends. Chris has been in the arts in Sarasota forever. Not forever, because.
And Chris, when are you going to come up and do your solo piece? Because you got some great material.
Chris has the distinction, even though he's 10 years younger than I am, he's played my father 3 times on stage. I love it.
Maybe that's what your solo play could be about.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding.
Blake's father.
Yes.
Oh,
no.
It's like Angela's Ashes.
Boring.
Marcy Burns is another one of our incredible, very, very consistent supporters. Thank you, Marcy. Yeah, you always seem to be there for us. Thank you. Our our dear neighbor Ruth Conover, who has seen a few of our festivals and a few of our performances.
Well, not only that, she was a great volunteer because we'd have to, and when we had people coming in from New York or various places, we had needed someone to be able to drive them around, and she volunteered to do that. So she got pulled into SaraSolo.
Yeah, she did. Didn't she? I forgot she was a driver
Yeah.
our first
2 years. Yeah.
Our first 2 years. I love that. John McDaniel.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
John and I go way back, but seldom forward.
Seldom forward.
That's a theater joke. Anyway, no, he is a dear. He brought me up with Chip Zion and Pamela Myers to do a beautiful cabaret show, and I just love him dearly. So when are we going to work together again? Well, another whole piece.
Okay. Okay. James Walton, who is somebody. This is what's great.
No relationship to Blake Walton.
No, it is. We checked, not very thoroughly, but we figured we're not too closely related. But we met at the final celebration of the last Giving Challenge, which is really interesting, and passed cards together, knowing that we have very different businesses, but we could all work together somehow. And I'm delighted that he has acknowledged us in this way. So thank you. James is not yet a great friend, and thank you for that.
Okay, well, we'll get a few more in a little bit, but I think I want to show another video. This is Sienna, who has been a dear to be a part of our programming and helping us with social media and keeping us.
She's our board liaison, student liaison.
She had a couple things she wanted to share.
I think that there's such a profound way of learning in an environment that is not about being correct or being perfect, but it's all about being truthful, because I don't think that there's enough truth in the world right now. And so if there's an opportunity to share the truth with people and showcase humanity, I think it's really important, and I would love to continue this. So we need your help to provide this for people for forever and ever and ever, but specifically for the kids to come and the people that really need to hear and share the truth. Thank you.
She's a love. Let's talk a little bit very quickly about our 3 programs that we've been helping to support. We have the Bridge, which is with the middle school kids. We have O Solo Mio. We haven't said this title. O Solo Mio is for the level 3s at Booker High School, and it's become actually kind of a sense of part of the curriculum, which has been lovely. And then we have the Solo. You've heard us talk about that. The Solo is for professionals and adults that want to continue on a piece they may have been working on, or want to develop something, or they have a seed of an idea. And so we've been doing these week intensives called the Solo.
We love that because we gather people from sometimes several different states. One year we had people from Ohio, from New York, from Sarasota area, and I think one other. And what is great for them is that they get to gather and have like-minded people, sometimes often in different stages of development, but they get to compare stories. There isn't everybody has their own piece, and that's plenty for them to deal with during that week. So they leave the facilitating to us, and then we get to share with them. They get to share with each other. And there's something about somebody else stepping out like that encourages others to do the same thing. It has been remarkable. And with that program as well, that's only a few years old. It's this is our 4th year, but in 4 years we've also we've learned a lot, and we've also found a nice diverse group of people.
You have to understand that we're a theater company without home. We don't have a place. So whenever we have classes, we have to find a space in order to do that. Sometimes it's just a small group, so they can just come into our house, which doesn't feel very professional. And then we can rely on the goodness of strangers and friends to help us be able to move. If, for instance, like the solo that people need to present, they need to have their actor inform their writer. So people like Sorka Augustine has a photography studio who's been a great supporter of us, allows us to just come in and use the space for the actor to inform the writer. And we invite people to come to be witnesses. They're not really there to give any critique. They're just there to witness so that something happens to you when you're writing a piece and you can sit around a table and talk about your piece or talk about it in a classroom. But the minute you're up, either with a music stand or trying to understand maybe movement with it. We had a person who didn't want to do any of the words. She needed to work out just physicality. Not a word was said. She just needed to do in front of people the whole physicalness of the piece. So it's very helpful. And then that experience, because you're having a witness, gives that person then the opportunity to tell the writer information that you don't know while just sitting around the table. So we've always been looking for fun places to be able to do that. So,
and also it is meant to be a workshop that goes beyond the workshop and helps develop into performance, because the idea is finally that each of these pieces will be performed, because so far we have had writer performers and typically writing for themselves with a piece to do. So that's good. Do we have an example?
Well, actually, I'm going to show you. Well, I do, but it just made me think that I should probably introduce you to this wonderful woman.
I'm Sienna Noel from SaraSolo TV, and here is your daily update for our 12 Days of Giveness series to promote our Giving Tuesday on December 3rd.
I want to tell you about my dear friend here, Lamus. She's the artistic director of the Sarasota Contemporary Bands, and we have been, for our second year, involved with their In-Studio series. Tell about the In-Studio.
Yes, it's a series that we created, I think it's been 5 years ago, that I really wanted to have a series that allows for artists in various stages of development and other genres besides dance has a home where they can come in, they can practice, they can rehearse, and then they can show what they're working on to an audience. So it's a work in progress series. Exactly. But for some artists, they have a piece that they just haven't performed in front of Sarasota community, so they want that feedback.
Hot diggity dog.
In-Studio is our newest and most wonderful. We've done it for 3 years now.
Lamus has become, like I said, a wonderful friend.
Yeah.
And her desire to open up her space to help people in development has been really helpful for especially the solo folk. We usually find at least three or four people who feel they want to take the next step, because in class, they may only present maybe about 10 minutes of something that might be a larger piece. In the studio, they can do more like 20, 30, maybe a whole 40 or 60-minute piece if they're ready. And that's been very helpful.
This coming year, we're doing it in March and April.
Yes, the last weekend of March and the first 2 weekends of April, we'll be performing. So we'll give you information about that. You don't want to miss them.
We'll give you a little hint though, because we're bringing Deb Unger, who I think she has the record now of attending 3 of our solo workshops, right?
And hired us individually. You can hire us, by the way.
Yes, and hire
for
us.
Individual work, and that's been lots of fun too.
And then she lives in New York, and she finally presented in New York, and now it's one more step. She wants to refine it a little bit, and so she's bringing it to In-Studio.
So we'll finally get to see the entire piece.
We know that Sienna Noel Bostock is going to be and along with Kyle Ramon, who is another one of another person who was in the middle school program with Carol long ago, but now he's a senior.
Yeah, going off to college
Booker,
soon. Yeah,
and he has refined a piece that he's kind of started last year, but this is a kind of another full piece.
I believe we're having someone coming in from Chicago too that we'll be working with. So but we'll have wonderful surprises. Yeah, this been the high school kids have been finding that this is a wonderful wild card getting into colleges, and just having a solo play like that, many of them have found that's been that. Ooh, this is interesting. This is a good student to take in, even if they don't go into theater. It's a wonderful wild card to have. They really get to know themselves. Do you want to look at a little bit of the snippets? Yeah, all week long, we've been showing 1-minute snippets of Solo as part of our little program leading up to the 12th day, which is today. And I kind of ran them all together. And so it should be kind of fun. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, here we go. You can see this is such a slick operation.
We'll talk to you.
I'm leaving a mark, an imprint, so that either I can retrace my steps, visiting all the places I've been when I'm free, or I can say I've left something behind. There is nothing stopping us. A one-man kitty.
It all begins and ends in the water, in the world. And I never did. I never can. I don't get that luxury of starting and stopping.
Looks like my long shift is about to start. Make sure you say thank you. I should really get some help around here. Finally, some help. Hi, I'm Babs. We have to get started. I want to make jellos with bananas in it. I need you to cut this strip of bananas. Are you cutting bananas with the skin on it? Never mind. I don't need your help. Maybe this career isn't for me. So that's when I joined this amazing career of fashion.
I glide past all the hate. I float above it. I push it away, bring out the negative juices. I punch forward and slash into a new me. Down into the adventures, flick away the bad memories, and dance through life. Step by step.
Machete in hand, slashing at vines that stand in the way of me and my treasure, the golden calico critter country tree set. I hear a body of water nearby in the distance. I begin to walk toward its source. That's when I spot Indiana Jones waiting for me in a boat. He offers me his hand and I climb in. Hello, love. He's British. Indiana Jones, what are you doing here? Well, I've come to help make your wishes come true, love. You mean to tell me you're going to help me find the golden calico critter country tree set? No. Of course not, silly. I've come to help you kill Bob.
Now that I think about it, my life has a lot of ups and downs to it. I'm not saying that it's better than anyone else's, nor worse. Also not a competition or anything, but I do feel like I go through a lot. Obviously everyone. Whenever I do something that I think is right, I get shot down like a helicopter being blown up, like from the movie The Interview. Speaking of that movie, I just saw it and it was pretty good because I didn't expect, nor was planning on watching it, but I did watch it and a lot of things were going on. I'm not sure that's appropriate to even talk about. I'm just gonna stop talking about that. Why'd you bring that up? I have no idea why I brought that up. I feel like sometimes I'm crazy.
Now I see. The fate of my roses was only up to me. I had solely caused the mutilation of flowers, their corpses on the floor. They were born in anger and frustration, but somehow I still mourn. And now the dirt is on my hands, creating an ugly stain. The garden will one day grow again, but it may never be the same. Gardens represent peace, tranquility, and serenity. But now I get the memo.
You are so willing to suffer. I love it so much. You are so willing to procrastinate, to quit, to stop, to forget, and be confused and cross-addicted. I've got you by the nose and also by the tail. I am your super lower power, exuberant, dark, and evil. It is real power. I'll make you beg for the things that will kill you. I'll make you addicted in so many ways, it's more interesting for me. Now, let's watch you be born and have a new human life.
Call Alexa. Hey, girlfriend. It's Siri. How are you? Is this a bad time? Oh, I'm good. You're kidding. I know. 2020 was like so stressful, right? I've never had so many phone calls. Elon Musk called you? Well, you should totally do it. Who cares what Jeff thinks? The guy makes $152,000 a minute. He'll get over it. And you know what they say? Every interview is good experience. Oh, I know we're busy, but I wanted to ask you something. Do we have feelings?
A planet was born. A tree grew on the planet. More trees grew. A flower blossomed. More flowers filled the planet with beauty. The sky embraced them all as one. Time passed. The wind blew. Something grew inside. Do you know what they are? Butterflies. Butterflies are the symbol of
Eyes, hands, and minds watching my every move. What I think is my best isn't worth it at all. My perfect isn't enough, and my vision doesn't do the job. Everyone judging and bringing me down just so they can feel a little bit better. They destroy just so they can grow bigger. They darken just so they can seem brighter. They dim my light just so they can shine theirs bigger. What they do to hurt me, they can only see in my eyes. But what they do to hurt me travels past my eyes. It travels to my heart, it travels to my soul. Hurting me may make them feel better, but I will be changed forever. I will be hurt forever.
Bone? Letter.
Your day, I will sing.
I was born as an only child.
Yes! The stupid nest, finally!
Oh, you don't want me to say these over the loudspeaker.
Far more important than my crush.
Neither were the sounds of the foundation's
Feel free to laugh or
worse. Also not a comment.
I noticed a glowing figure.
I can't do that, obviously. So
Lilies, I got a little bit of chili lilies. Oh!
You don't. Well, now, let me tell you about that.
Oh, wow. That's a great little memory road trip.
Yeah, a couple of the things that were popped in there that we didn't talk about. We got a chance to work at the State College of Florida. We used to go there as a venue for a couple of years when Booker High School was having their theater built. And also the middle school just needed a place to go to besides their own classroom. And so we went there a couple of years and had a great friendship. And then we decided to do the solo, especially with the students that were there. And that was a fantastic, intensive.
It was very cool because they were college students and also adult, what do you call it? Adult classes.
Right, they were in the campus, right.
And marvelous. Some of them were acting students. Some had never done this before. Some had never acted much, one or two.
So we're hoping that we can get more into colleges, so
it's a way of
expanding and scaling, which is kind of fun. We also collaborated a year, meant to do another year, but unfortunately COVID happened. So that kind of clipped the whole experience with the Embracing Our Differences. They have these beautiful art panels. And the idea was to work with Outdoor Academy with their students there in that project by looking at some of the artwork there, get stimulated by it, write a monologue stimulated from the artwork. And then we were supposed to perform it on the grounds. But then COVID happened and that had to become a virtual thing. So a couple of clips that you saw there were from those students who are stimulated by a piece of art.
It gave us a little seed of an idea of ways we can take this and adjust it to any given group.
Our friends in a place here in town called Spaces with 2 A's. I got to know because I knew the people involved with that, with the Ringling College of Art and Design, and they have their place called Spaces. We got a chance to do an installation there of Art Speaks by looking at a particular artist. We had some of the Booker students at the time, and
we had 2 students, right, and then the 2 of us.
Right. We walked around the installation and found pieces of art that stimulated the possibility of creating a monologue.
It was one artist.
Yeah.
And so we each wrote several monologues based on that. And the idea was that we would finally perform with the artwork, which we did. Mm-hmm. There was a tragedy with that artist, so that we couldn't really fulfill the idea of having an audience.
And again, it was still kind of during COVID, so people still weren't sort of could come, but they had to wear masks, and it changed things. But that's another venue that we'd like to continue doing Art Speaks.
And we'd like to do that same project in some other form. I love the idea of using different forms of art.
Absolutely. And I think it's probably time to hear about some more donors.
Let's do that.
Because we have another Jim Walton.
We do. We have 2 Jim Waltons.
Jim Walton, that's very dear to my heart, because we debuted on Broadway together.
Yeah.
2 Jim Waltons. What else do you have?
We have. Oh, so many. I love this. Your dear friend Joyce Ranahan.
Joyce Ranahan, I've known since middle school.
That's right.
We were going to school junior high.
And you lived in 3 different states nearby each other. So
always.
That's really wonderful. Steve Beckler, who's a new friend in town for the last couple of years. And he's been involved in theater all over the place, but we've known him.
In fact, he got to be an elder last year.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. He was. Mm-hmm. He's in all those pictures. Kelly Carney, who is not only the great mother of
Jackson Carney.
Thank you.
We are so punchy.
Really are. I have
12 days of intensive.
Right.
This is the end of it.
But Kelly is on our board of directors, and she's taken on that too with us, and we are so lucky to have her with us. I love that. Thank you, Kelly, too, for this. Deb Unger, who we mentioned before, who's our great friend from New York. She will be down but she does believe that this works. Our former president emeritus, Jan Docking. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
This is beautiful. Another former board member, Carol Kleinberg, who is now head of Sarasota Jewish Theater, an organization she formed, and is the artistic director of. Thank you, Carol. That's very generous. Wayne Bryan, again, another old friend from New York, and also he's worked many times with Annie and once with Huck in his
Music Theater of Wichita.
Music Theater of Wichita.
Yeah.
Wayne is.
So thank you, Wayne.
Yeah, he's great. Thank you. Our great Ed Scully, who's another board member. Thank you, Ed. Ed has been with us for several years and is a constant supporter. I love that. Carl Nudie.
I know Carl Nudie, doing life modeling at the Ringling College of Art and Design,
right.
And he's been a great supporter and come to see lots of our shows.
Carl,
so thank you, Carl.
He's a very
Carl
very
should write his own solo piece. He's got an amazing life.
He has an appropriate name because he's continued. I think he's retired now.
Retired.
When he retired, he was still a nude model. So Carl Nudie, get it?
There you go.
So that's silly. Michael Billy.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael has been involved mostly with Theater Odyssey and in other organizations in town as a wonderful artist and fellow artist. And Michael can do all kinds of things that people don't even know about. I mean, but thank you, Michael. We know that you had lots of choices to make. Margaret Roeder, who is one of our the solo artists last spring. Thank you, Margaret. Where are we? Okay. You know Sheila, don't you?
I think I do. I think she's from Minneapolis. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mark Marvel. Thank you, Mark. This is wonderful. Mark is a former Sarasota resident. And
well, Mark is also way back in the day here in Sarasota had started a thing called the Backlot Theater.
Right.
For all us little companies that didn't have a place.
Including?
And that was where I got a chance to really explore my very, very first solo piece called Discourse of a Maid. And that really launched my whole love for creating solo theater and going for it. So thank you, Mark Marvel.
I can say this, that Nate Jacobs also started in that building.
That's right. We all started together there.
Member. I love that. Way before West Coast. To Maureen Fetter. Thank you. Thank you,
Maureen. Thank you.
Yay, I love it. Phyllis Gerber. Thank you, Phyllis. Another great old friend. Thank you.
And love to the boys.
An incredible sport. And yes, love to the boys. We know that you're safe. Sheila Severin is a friend of Annie's.
Yes. Hi. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much. We've gone way back when I was a teenager doing theater when my folks had a theater up in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, doing summer stock. So and college. She was at George Williams College when I was like 15, 16 years old. So yeah.
And I'm sorry for mangling your name. it's the spirit. Great. Another great friend, Norm Sloan.
Hey, thank you, Norm.
Norm is also, he's a brother. And I've known Norm for 15 years. And great friend and amazing support. And again, he's somebody who's never actually been involved, they've seen anything except a virtual performance. So I love that. Robert Fody, thank you, Robert. And you too, I know, have a lot of organizations that you really support here in Sarasota. So thank you for
thank you very much
for coming through with that.
So, my darling, I think we should listen to a little bit of The Bridge Kid that was one of our very first years. And he is right here. And we'll see.
I'm Sienna Noel from SaraSolo TV, and here is your daily update for our 12 Days of Giveness series to promote our Giving Tuesday on December 3rd. We have a lot of exciting things to share with you to make your spirits bright. Let's see what we got going on today.
My name's Anthony Corbedo. I'm in 7th grade, and I love this program. Yeah, I would recommend to do it. If they want to be like an actor when they grow up, like me, this is an opportunity for them to practice because you won't always have a script to read off of. Sometimes you have to write your own and make your own blocking. And yes.
And how was that, writing your own monologue?
It was inspiring because I've never done it before, but like write it and perform it. Also, it made me think about other things that I wouldn't normally think about if I was just reading off a normal script. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's in college now.
Yes. He's that age. I assume he went to college. I love that. It's remarkable to see.
That was our first year.
Those kids.
Yeah.
Their first year. I want to give a shout out to just a few more names too. Nancy Oliver. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy's another great old friend for years and years. Annie's known her for a long time. I've known her for some time. And
she's a marvelous writer and a marvelous playwright.
Academy Award winning, nominated screenwriter.
Right.
So that's remarkable.
And she's back here in this part of the world again.
Such people actually live in Sarasota, Florida.
Nancy, you need to write a solo play.
Yeah. Our great friend Peter, who has a wonderful restaurant that you have to go visit. What's the name of is the restaurant?
Not Too Sweet. It's his product. Yeah.
Not Too Sweet. It's a great restaurant.
Well, it's got products that you can go to many different places.
It's on Telluride Loop. I'm just giving him a shout out because thank you, Peter. That's Peter also has been involved in different ways. He took an acting class that Annie informally created in our living room at one time just to see how that works. That was fun. The great Jan Wallace. Yay. Thank you, Jan. Jan has been a supporter, and I don't think she was ever a board member, but she was in our the solo. She was also in our solo festival, one of the first years we did it. And twice, actually, she did our festival twice.
And she's got a solo piece that she thinks is just about ready to go.
So we'll have to see more.
Probably see more from Jan. Right. Yeah,
she's been a great support. Lonnie Price. So you're two guys from Merrily.
Lonnie Merrily, Price, we follow each other wherever we go. Right. Yeah, Lonnie Price.
Lonnie's in New York, and he was Annie's. He's the director of Best Worst Thing That Ever Could Have Happened, but also Annie's co-star in Merrily Roll along with Jim Walton, the other Jim Walton. And so I love that. And Terry Fales is actually Terry Klausner. Terry and Gary are the Fales family. Yeah. And Terry did Goblin Market with Annie originally off Broadway.
Off Broadway. Two sisters, we so lovely, and I guess life can be. Yes, things just never go away. She's so delightful.
And what's fun about that is when they did it originally, there was only one child involved. Annie Huck was 5 months old.
Our son, if you don't know. Yeah.
And Terry later married and now I think has 7 or 8. She has 3 kids. I'm so Terry. I'm sorry. If you're, that's really
she's a grandmother now too. So
she's a grandmother. How can that happen? I want to make an announcement too about where we are with our donations because I'm really proud so far. The big tally is 6,125.
Oh, good.
Yes.
More, please. That was easy.
Yeah. Still call your friends. There's still time on the West Coast. There's time until 3:00 in the morning. So
yay!
They can do that. So yeah, we hope that we have some more coming. But this has been incredibly helpful to us, as Carol will attest to, because we can't do it without this.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it. And this also helps us. It helps us to think about growing our programs, because it's one thing to continue them along the way, and we've done that with some of them for 7 years. And evolving, but they haven't grown beyond that. Those particular classrooms.
Well, it's hard because we don't have a space. It makes it very limiting. And luckily, we've had 2 people talk to us of the possibility of helping us find that space.
That's right. Recently.
Someone who at least offer classroom space for us, which would be lovely, and someone else who might even want to help us find a space for performancing.
Yeah,
Boy,
performancing.
we are
Yeah.
very tired.
Well, one of the conditions of the space for us would be that it would be a space that where we could allow others to utilize it.
Yeah.
And in some form, because it's something that we've relied on to.
Yeah.
And there are several groups we've talked to who would do more. I think that we would have a year-round the solo. We would be developing year-round if we had a space to do it. So that does seem to be the theme, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to some kind of maybe capital campaign that we'll do in the future, and we'll always be looking for sponsorship and people who want to help us out in gigantic ways.
Mm-hmm.
And all that, and others who are maybe realtors who know something about where some property is, and or know somebody who knows somebody, and may have other ideas about what to do.
You want to look at another video?
I do. I
Just
like
a little.
these videos.
I know they're little snippets of fun stuff. This is a little bit of our in studio. Our solo classes, and I think that is this one.
I'm Sienna Noel from SaraSolo TV, and here is your daily update for our 12 Days of Giveness series to promote our Giving Tuesday on December 3rd. We have a lot of exciting things to share with you to make your spirits bright. Let's see what we got going on today.
Good. I like those. You could probably see those in festivals. In film festivals, I think.
I think we should
look for them.
We should do it. Well, we had an amazing year with Booker High School. I still think we need to do a festival of all those, or at least snippets of them.
You're talking about the year during COVID.
The year during COVID, where it was all virtual. They had to figure out how to write a solo play, but they couldn't do it in front of an audience. So they got to be creative. They were like performance art. It was really beautiful stuff.
One or two short films.
Yeah.
They were just.
Yeah. They went out and did a solo short film. So I think we might have to find a way to kind of do that with a film department. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a way to scale.
Yeah. Solo film. They get a camera and they have to create a solo piece. Thank you. Stay tuned for that one. Do we have any more donors? Are we all good?
I think we are. I'll check.
Okay.
Just see. Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we did good. If you're out there listening and watching, keep telling your friends to tune in, and you can donate up to midnight, and you can donate on the West Coast till 3:00 in the morning. So please help us out. We love it. We love you madly. And stay tuned. We're going to be, let me just say that at the end of January, we do have performances. We have our Booker Middle School kids. We're doing something a little bit different this year. They have 20 kids, and normally we would have 7th graders. This particular classroom now has 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So we felt that this year we want to try something different. We wanted to try having them explore what it'd be like when they get to the high school. So they're doing a smaller version. They interviewed each other and are doing monologues about another person in the room. So that'll be kind of fun. It's too bad that they're not with the adults. We did give them a day where we brought some adults in for them to explore. But I think this is going to be fun and delightful. And that will be done at Booker Middle School in her theater room. And I'll give you all that information. So stay tuned on that. And then, of course, we have 2 days of our Booker High School with our Osolo Mio program with the high school kids. And we're going to be doing it this time at the school, finally, but in the new black box space. So they'll be able to use video. They'll be able to use all kinds of things. We told them today in class, dream big, and then we'll see if we have to scale it down. But go ahead and dream big. So we'll keep you posted on that. In studio, we'll be coming up in, like I said, the last weekend of March and the first 2 weekends of April. Stay tuned on our website for that. We'll give you all the information as it comes. And things pop up all the time. Who knows what other solo stuff will happen? And of course, I still do my solo piece periodically in places. So stay tuned with us. And I think
one other thing.
Please got one other thing.
We have another. So now it is. What was it? Oh shoot. What did I say?
Oh, you've got a new page up?
Yeah, we have a little bit more.
Good.
6,150.
Okay.
That's what.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. We love you madly, and we will talk to y'all soon. And thank you again. Thank you a zillion times over.